Time Treasured, Seneca's Blueprint for Mastering Your Minutes. Chapter 1, A Clock in a Cave, Seneca's Secret to Time Mastery. Imagine a young Roman senator staring at a flickering candle and feeling the weight of 100 unanswered questions. He was none other than Seneca, who once wrote, "It is not that we have a short time, but that we waste much of it." Those words, now almost a century and a half before the first alarm clock, reveal the seed of a philosophy that can still light our modern lives. Seneca's own schedule was no stranger to discipline. Despite his extravagant lifestyle, he divided his day into 3 equal parts: the morning for study and reflection, the afternoon for work, and the evening for leisure and meditation. He believed that the preciousness of time lies not in how much you own, but in how diligently you honor it. As he calmly told the grieving young Lucilius, "Time is our only true wealth. Spend it as you would your money, wisely, generously, deliberately." Motivational insight. The first key principle Seneca taught was awareness. If you cannot see your hours on the board, you cannot manage them. He urged us to keep a simple diary, noting what drains or fuels our energy. In his own practice, he would list tasks in the morning, then review afterward, adjusting priorities like a ship's captain steering by the stars. Concrete example for today: grab a notebook, no fancy app needed. At dawn, jot down the 3 most important tasks. Throughout the day, write down any distractions that come up. At dusk, reflect on what was achieved and why some tasks slipped aside. This record becomes your personal time audit, revealing patterns you can tweak. Key takeaways. Time is a finite, precious commodity. Treat it like gold. Routine and division of focus protect against scatter. A simple diary fuels accountability. Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to stop losing minutes and start owning them. Reflective question for Chapter 1. When was the last time you consciously wrote down how you spend your hours, and what surprised you about that pattern? Chapter 2, Time's Tides, 3 core principles of Seneca's calendar. Seneca spoke of the unwise man who takes the most time to sit and think of saving something for future, illustrating how the future can become a cage if we never act. From his writings, he distills 3 core strategies that can be practiced daily. 1. Prioritization by value. The great things come from small starts. He advised focusing on tasks that bring the most forward movement, not the most comfortable or urgent. 2. Intentional pauses between tasks. He recommended short silences to breathe and recalibrate. Do not hurry the breath, let it be the anchor. 3. End-of-day reflection. What you have written is what you have achieved. He suggested evaluating outcomes, learning from failures, and thanking yourself for effort. Story: once, during a political crisis, Seneca was forced to decide between 2 urgent speeches. He chose to write a short, potent message that could calm the Senate while leaving enough time later to draft a more comprehensive plan. This balanced approach avoided exhaustion and showcased the power of intentional time allocation. Motivational insight. These principles form a time framework that filters the noise and directs energy where it matters most. By applying value-based priority, we convert busyness into purpose. Concrete example today. Morning, use the Eisenhower matrix for the week's tasks. Put them into 4 boxes: urgent and important, important but not urgent, Seneca's sweet spot, urgent but not important, none at all. Midday, after the first major task, take 3-minute breathing or meditation break. Look at your watch, close your eyes, inhale patience, exhale impatience. Evening, in your journal, answer: what was most valuable today, and what could have been done differently? Key takeaways. Prioritize by future value, not immediate urgency. Pauses are intentional time, not dead time. Reflection is the only true feedback loop. Like, share, and subscribe if you're convinced that your schedule can be a strategy rather than a chore. Reflective question for Chapter 2. Which of your daily tasks truly moves your goals forward, and which merely keeps you perpetually busy? Chapter 3, Seneca's Clockwork, how he practiced his own time mastery. Living in the capital, Seneca was constantly courting public scrutiny, yet he never let politics eclipse his inner time discipline. He famously sent a letter to Lucilius on a busy day, summarizing his day: morning, study; afternoon, lecture; evening, walk. His watchful hours demonstrate that the structure he preached was his own survival kit. Illustrative example: Seneca was once sentenced to death when his mentor allegedly warned of a political threat. He faced the guillotine with his day planned out. He had already written a letter to his family, finished his philosophical musings, and even composed a poem for the moment. The result was a calm acceptance that time, when used wisely, gives even the shortest days a sense of fullness. Motivational insight. The core lesson here is resilience through routine. When crises arise, your pre-structured routine becomes a shield. Seneca's approach was that the mind remains calm because it is trained to handle an hour, not an entire lifetime of unpredictability. Concrete steps for the listener. Morning ritual, 5-minute gratitude journal, one word that encapsulates your purpose for the day. Midday check-in, stand up, stretch, count breath for 30 seconds, and review your to-do sheet. Remove any task that no longer fits your value. Evening wind down, 10 minutes of reading one philosophical or motivational passage. Close the day by noting the most peaceful moment and what it taught you. By embedding these small rituals, you emulate the clockwork of Seneca's disciplined mind, ensuring you never become a victim of the hour. Key takeaways. Routine creates mental armor against chaos. Small, deliberate moments accumulate into a life managed, not managed by life. The future is less terrifying when you have a clear present roadmap. Like, share, and subscribe to keep building your timeless routine. Reflective question for Chapter 3. What one ritual could you add to your day that would guard your mind against unforeseen stress? Chapter 4, Modern Alchemy, turning Seneca's time wisdom into personal growth. Time management isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about turning each minute into a stepping stone toward personal evolution. Seneca's lessons translate directly into actionable habits for the digital age. Practical application 1, time chunking and digital declutter. Seneca suggested, do not be a man of many tasks, but a man of few priorities. In our world saturated with notifications, group your tasks into 90-minute focus blocks, followed by a 15-minute pause that excludes email, social media, or even your phone. During the pause, do a quick physical stretch or simply rest your eyes. This reduces cognitive fatigue. Practical application 2, the Not Now list. Create a Not Now list like Seneca's Postpone to Tomorrow list, but label it as Not Now. Put tasks that look urgent but do not drive long-term progress. At the end of each week, cross them out only when they transform into an actual must or when priorities shift. Practical application 3, the Future Backwards Planning. Seneca told us that future events are the most valuable. To harness that, set a long-term vision, your why. Work backwards. What milestones of that vision can you create today? Align your everyday tasks to build those milestones step by step. Motivational insight. The modern human thrives when their minutes are aligned with their why. Time becomes a tool for growth, not an enemy of leisure. Seneca's philosophy is simply that each minute holds potential, and the question is whether you are ready to transform it into gold. Concrete example in practice. Suppose your goal is to become a public speaker. Start with a 10-minute daily reading of great speeches. Then, allocate a 30-minute block to rehearse a micro speech. Over a month, you'll notice a measurable increase in confidence. Every 10-minute practice was a stone laid toward your future self, exactly the Senecan idea of building a palace from sand with deliberate steps. Key takeaways. Focus blocks, not endless tasks, guard against mental decay. A Not Now list protects your future vision from present distractions. Align every minute with your larger purpose to create personal growth. Like, share, and subscribe, because the power to shape tomorrow begins with how you use today. Reflective question for Chapter 4. What one long-term goal would you align with a daily 10-minute habit? And how can you use this habit to transform your future? Chapter 5, Carving Time from Silence, your action plan forward. Seneca once wrote, "Begin to live, and the world will bend to your will." The final chapter is an invitation to carry his lessons into your everyday journey, turning theory into tangible action. Step 1, the Daily Time Snapshot. Each morning, open your journal or a note app and write the top 3 tasks plus one personal reflection. At night, cross-mark what you achieved and jot what you learned. This creates a loop that hones predictive precision over time. Step 2, the weekly review. Every Sunday evening, spend 10 minutes asking, which of my tasks aligned with my core values? Remove the rest and reschedule what was left. Adjust if necessary, but always maintain the focus on value, not urgency. Step 3, your time anchor ritual. Commit to a ritual that signals the start of your productive day: a coffee, a stretch, a prayer, a silence. Anchor it to a specific time each day, making it less an option and more a habit. This is your personal clock that moves consistently. Step 4, reward your discipline. After a month of honoring your plan, treat yourself with a meaningful reward, perhaps a day of relaxation, a meal you love, or a small purchase that enriches your life. Positive reinforcement strengthens the habit loop. Motivational insight. Time is both a mirror and a canvas. By reflecting on how you currently spend it, you reveal habits that may be hidden. By painting intentional strokes, you shape a reality that is more than the sum of its minutes. Key takeaways. Consistent reflection turns time into insight. Weekly reviews keep your schedule in sync with goals. Rituals anchor your productivity and protect against derailment. Rewarding yourself sustains long-term discipline. Like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to lock in your time management practice and watch your life rise. Reflective question for Chapter 5. What single change to your current daily time practice could have the most profound impact on your future success? Final thoughts. Seneca's advice transcends the centuries because it is rooted in simple, timeless truths. Time is precious, value is the compass, and discipline transforms fleeting seconds into lasting success. Adopt his 3 core principles: prioritization by value, intentional pauses, and reflective closure, and embed them into routines that fit your modern rhythm. Remember, every minute you honor today becomes a brick in the house of tomorrow. The journey from a busy life to a life lived with purpose is a small, consistent shift in how you manage what the world hands you, those 24 hours each day. Now it's your turn. Start each day with a purpose, pause often with intention, and close with reflection. Watch your minutes multiply into a future you've designed, not one that throws you along. Thank you for listening, and like, share, and subscribe for more timeless wisdom that empowers your everyday time management.